of the day. Man.
It's been a really quick day, but it can still be a day that we can talk about for a very, very long time. And if ViBe is going to be able to make it to the round of 16, that would be the first time for him, not the first time a root player does it, as of course last season we welcomed Chet.
And Sage.
I want to Chet and then just Jones. Chet the gentleman.
Chad. Multiple people's favorite.
Not bad, but not bad. ViBe, of course, being our Blue Zergs, falling in the left top side of Belgium message. And incredible miracles. Nestea spawning in the right bottom side of the map. What is Nestea going to do,
He's
man?
going to 10 pull, but he's like, oh, this worked really well for Jado. No, he's not. It was just the extraction.
Yeah, an overload already.
Okay. Well.
So actually, ViBe not drawing the short straw this game, which he did do against Jado. At least twice in a row. Against Nestea once. But you know, ZVZ doesn't have to be all about the build orders. Of course, you can always create small advantages for yourself while taking a few risks here and there. But there is a safe way of playing it as well.
There is. You can play.
Like, why is ViBe doing this? Which I love, by the way. I welcome this with open arms, and I'm happy to see this. Just the pull before the hatch. But why do you do it against Nestea and not against Jadong? Jadong has done nothing but early pulls for like the last 4 months. Jadong is laughing straight to the bank. He's like, you know how much money I made of all these early pulls?
Kev, Jadong hasn't been doing early pulls for the last 4 months. He's been doing early pulls for like the last 10 years. Because that's how he played Brood War as well.
You know, this is one day this guy, I think it's, you know, what it all boils down to is there's that one guy who said, I had a read on Jadong. I knew he wasn't going to do it. I think that's just what we're building up towards, man. Very identical openings on either side. Pull before hatch. Nestea not taking any crazy risk either. So we might see some straight up, legit ZVZ, some long games. I would love to see some roach wars between these two players. Just let it all come down to army positioning around the map. Micro in the fights, macro during the fights, and of course, the ability to press R.
That's right. Once again, a little shout out to Gosu User, who we were talking to about Nestea ZVZ earlier, and he said that oftentimes we do see very hatch tech, roach-centric attacks out of Nestea. This opening would allow for something like that. We'll see if it's what ends up happening. Right now, everything looking so incredibly super standard, with gasping mine by both players and just a couple of lings being built by both players to get a little bit of map vision. And not too much noteworthy to talk about just yet.
Calm before the storm, man.
That's right.
What do you think the Canadians would rather see, ViBe or Nestea? Do you think Nestea has ever been to Canada? I don't think so.
I think the Canadians would rather see ViBe because Scarlet has a ridiculously high win rate against ViBe.
That is true. Even this season they played against each other in WCS.
Last year we did the, I guess it was WCS Canada.
Yeah,
That's
Canada.
what it technically was last year. We hosted that event in Toronto, and man, the Canadian fans were so happy when Scarlet won. It was really cool.
Won it in ZVZ as well against Ustoji back then in the finals.
Yeah. Spontaneously started singing the Canadian national anthem.
Saw Ultralist dancing. My favorite moment of that weekend was still when Hawk was making his appearance for the first time. That was beautiful.
That was awesome. It was also really funny when Stefano kicked Lauren Leaks in the head.
Or when Froden fell off the stage.
Oh, man. Not many people saw that one. That was almost like super scary.
Well, yeah, the bicycle kick from Stefano on Lauren's head was pretty epic. See Spinecrawler going down for Nestea, also the Bailing Nest in the front. This has been such a macro-oriented ZVZ so far, Ben, and I see more drones on the production tab. Everything is standard so far. Neither player taking a big risk. We saw ViBe sacrificing 2 links for the greater good, trying to get a little bit of scouting information done. Wasn't really able to see all that much.
ViBe's going to be the first to make a swell of Zerglings.
Late attack going down for
on
Nestea.
the production tab.
Pretty quick.
So we might see a little bit of Speedling, Baneling aggression out of ViBe, but Nestea really has all the pieces he needs to put together a good defense.
But, you know, it seems right now I'm getting a very greedy feeling from Nestea, and he might actually just wants to be a little more greedy. He did see all these speedlings actually running on the left side of the map because of this overload. So Nestea knows that there are quite a few links out on the map. I'd be surprised if we see more drones from him. He has quite a bit of lava to work with.
I'm going to poke through here with these lings. He's going to say, whoa! Okay, that was not a good exchange, ViBe.
Man, that was like health insurance for the queen. Sacrifice the Bane.
ViBe's going to try to make something happen. Oh, there's a possible detonation, and he will kill.
Yeah, a few larvae as well. A couple of drones.
Two
and a little
drones
bit of larvae.
and some larvae. That's actually, that might have been huge. Did all those larvae just pop off and die? Yeah.
No,
So
not all of them. He had a couple of cocoons morphing, so a few of those did spawn. But still, there was like 3-4 larvae lost. Spire going down already for Nestea. Nestea did have a small worker lead, so losing a few drones didn't really set him back too far. And his tag is of course quicker as well, something that ViBe is unaware of, because he didn't really squeeze any, wasn't able to send one Ling into the main base and see the layer timing, see the Spire perhaps going down. I think that was the only bad thing about that attack for ViBe.
yeah, he's a little bit blind. But basically the same builds from these two players. ViBe's going to drop his own Spire. Oh!
That would have been a really nice pickup. It's so annoying when you send one drone out to take your third base and it gets picked up by Lynx or a probe or an SUV.
A little worried for ViBe's third, because the Spire of Nestea will be done.
Roughly 40 seconds, but don't you think that by the time those Mutalisk are able to make their way across the map that...
It's going to be... Yes, I do. It will be close. It kind of depends on what kind of movement we see out of both Nestea and out of Nestea.
This is good news for ViBe, though. ViBe didn't play it very greedy. He made quite a few links, knowing that he's probably going to need links to keep that third base alive, and that was spot on. Made 4 Bane links. Few too many, but hey, you'd rather be safe than sorry. We know what. Oh, just send one link.
Yep.
So well,
it's still sort of calm before the storm, Kev. First mute is on the way for Nestea. He's able to build 4 right now, 5 right now, and he's got enough gas for more. What is he waiting for?
You know, whenever someone says, "What is he waiting for?" I think about
he's
scary.
waiting for larva.
I think about scary move on. Has to be careful, by the way. This is so many Zerglings that ViBe has over here. But if he would have run into a Baneling, fortunately for him, that is not going to work. Let's go. Very well done.
Oh, it makes me so scared.
I love it.
So ViBe's mutas are going to be out in time to defend his third base. If
ViBe
need
starts
be.
armor as well before Nestea. That's something that might actually be able to come into play a lot later.
There's 10 mutas at once for Nestea on the way, so he will have the muta count advantage for the time being. Uh-oh.
There are a couple of Banelings over here, though. They're a little bit hidden as well, so maybe Nestea's not going to pay attention. Come on, ViBe, you're going to have to keep that hatchery alive. This is going to be super important. I think it should be okay. Don't use your drones as well. At the same time, he has crazy amount of links in the main base from Nestea, by the way, so ViBe is doing quite a bit of damage as well. But all these drones here are stacked up. There are a lot of Mutalisk taking care of those Banelings.
Hatchery at the third base of ViBe does get saved. Barely stays alive. So that'll be an easy pick-off for these mutas.
Even now, as silly as this sounds. Nestea perhaps even lost a little bit more.
I'm certain that we're going to see ViBe's third die. Just because Nestea has mutas out. All he has to do is right-click on it.
Yeah, but like ViBe has plenty of mutas out himself. He has 14 Mutalisk against 15 with Nestea. You don't want to fight that when there are queens supporting these Mutalisk as well.
You're right. You don't want to fight it, but...
What do you want to do then? Just pick it
up?
up?
It's just about movement. So when he sees the mutas on one side of the map, he's going to just pop in there and get the pick off. But you are very right in the fact that Nestea has to be incredibly careful, because if he gets out-positioned, it's maybe GG. So it's a super close game for the time being, and the longer that hatchery stays alive, the less likely it is that Nestea is able to pick it off. And this is what we were talking about, where Nestea's got to be so careful. ViBe's upgrade's not done yet. Muta count favoring Nestea. ViBe might have just taken the wrong fight at the wrong time, and he's going to have to evacuate. And now things are getting a little bit dicey.
15 seconds later, and his upgrade would have been ready. I actually can't blame ViBe for taking that fight. It looked like he had enough. I also felt there were still a couple of Mutalisk on the way, but you know, the opposite was true.
And there's the whole runaround. Every mute is going to die, and this might actually just be the end of the game, as even with
splash damage might be able to pick up this hatchery as well, and Nestea is going to win game number 1 here on Belgium Vestige after